table cannot have multiple primary keys. It can have one primary key that can have multiple attributes. Okay. We also have things like delete from account. So essentially it says delete from account where account ID is 307. It is self-explanatory. So from account, delete the entire row where this particular predicate matches, that is account ID is 307. So if I did that, so if I, let's say, from account, that is your particular account right now with A307 as the account. So if I say delete from account where account ID is 307, it says one row affected. And if I do it again, I see that my A307 account has been deleted, right? Because that is where account ID is 307. Can someone tell me what would happen in my current table right now if I had, instead of A307, now if I particularly perform A350? My internet is unstable as usual. You guys should be able to hear me now. So what happens if I change my account ID to 350? What happens to my table? Yes, I can delete A350 Los Angeles and I can add it again. That is no issue because I can always delete A350 Los Angeles and then insert it again to my table. No issues with that. But what happens if I perform this particular command on my table? Basically, what I am asking is, are both of those rows going to be deleted, or one of those rows going to be deleted, or are we going to get an error? I mean, there is no wrong answer here. I mean, it is an implementation thing. So what do you guys think should be the case? Delete from account where account ID is 350. We have one both. Both. Let's see. Two rows affected. That means both of those are deleted, right? So it searches, and that makes sense because remember that we are selecting all of the rows where the predicate matches and we are deleting all of those things, and the predicate matches for both of those rows here. Okay. We also have drop table and drop database. Drop table deletes an entire table from the database. Drop database basically drops the entire database from the system. So if I did drop table here, let's look at our databases last. I'm going to do that. Show databases. So we had the bank database here. Let's do it. Please, you guys don't do this. Drop database bank, right? So if I do show databases again, my bank database is gone, including all of the values that we inserted and things like that. Okay. Now let's talk about the select query. So now that we know how to create and insert into tables and databases, now let's talk about the select query. The select query usually comes like this: select these attributes from these tables or relations where the P predicate is true. Okay, so essentially select from where is the most important query that you would learn in SQL. And once you understand how this works, you are basically okay with 80% of all database queries. Yes, this is all there is essentially. So let's start with the select query. So remember that in DBMS or in relational algebra, select was selecting entire rows. In this scenario, select, this term select or this query select is the project operation. So basically select attributes that basically are columns from my database. Some books, that is because of the name confusion, some books call our old and handy select query as the restrict operation, not the select operation, but that's something else. So select attributes essentially looks something like this, that is project attributes from a particular relation, right? And then we have from R1 and R2. Essentially, that is just the Cartesian product of all the tables that we have. So if we have R1 from R1, R2, basically we are seeing R1 cross R2. where P is essentially your predicate. So where clause in this particular DBMS programs are essentially corresponding to your select operation earlier. I know it's a bit confusing. Select is project, but where is the select operation, right? So where can be omitted if you want or not, but essentially wherever P is true, those elements will be shown. So select A1, A2, dot, 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 from R1, R2, blah, 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 where P would essentially be equivalent to this particular relational algebra statement, that is select where predicate is true from the Cartesian product of all R1s, R2s, and R3s, on so on. Select those that where the predicate is true and project down all the attributes that are listed in the select operation, A1, A2, and A3. Right. So this particular query is equivalent to this particular relational algebra operation. Any questions? Let's look at some examples. Okay. Now, the biggest difference between relational algebra and SQL are the use of multisets. SQLs basically use multisets and they do not use sets. That basically means that there are duplicates in your system. So if your system does not have a primary key, definitely it means that your rows can be duplicate. And essentially that does not only lend itself to primary keys. Even if you think about it, let's say that I want to project out all the balances in my account. So all the balances that are equal will not get automatically excluded because it is not a set. Your SQL database would still show you all the duplicate values. The only places where SQL maintains a set operation, a set type behavior, are when we are using our set operations, that is union, intersect, and differences. Okay. So for example, let's say that we had from the account table that we deleted, select branch name from account. So let me go back to this. So we have your account IDs, your branch names, your balances. And if I did a relational algebra operation that is project down all the branch names from account, what would be my result? It would be New York, Seattle, Los Angeles, right? Only 3 values because it's a set. Duplicate values will be removed automatically. In SQL, if we perform select branch name from account, we would be getting duplicate results because SQL maintains multisets, mainly because it is much more efficient to maintain multisets than actually removing duplicates from our system. So this particular expression would give you the result New York, Seattle, Los Angeles, New York, Los Angeles. This is also equivalent to typing select all branch name from account. But if we want to specifically remove duplicates from our system, we would have to use the term distinct of favorite friend distinct makes another combine. So essentially select distinct branch name from account, and that would give you the distinct set of branch names from that particular table account. Any questions? Okay. We can also project down multiple, so we can also select multiple attributes from our relation. So select account ID comma balance from account gets us the list of all account IDs and the list of all balances, corresponding balances. We can also do select star from account. That is what we saw earlier that I was doing. Essentially, this details the list of all rows in your table. So select all of them from my table. Okay. So as I said that, remember that select was a generalized projection operation, right? So that means that our select operation can also perform certain arithmetic operations on our values as well. So if you want to do credit minus balance to get the remaining amount of balance for a person, we can say select credit ID, comma, credit limit minus balance from credit account, from some credit account database, right? So that would get us the limit and we can perform these subtractions. So one thing to note is that when we said select account ID comma balance, note what the table attribute names were, account ID and balance, right? That was your original attribute names. Now, if we perform this particular operation, credit ID would have the attribute name credit ID, assuming that that's an attribute. And then credit limit minus balance would be named as in your database, since it does not have a name, it would be named as credit limit minus balance. So we can, if we want to, we can also rename, remember rename. So we can also rename the second column for our attribute and say that select credit ID, comma, credit limit minus balance as available credit. That basically says credit limit minus balance has to be renamed as the attribute name available credit from the table credit account. Okay. So that was a select operation. The from operation is essentially to select a data, select a table. The select operation was used to select the attributes that we want. Now comes the where operation. So the where clause essentially is the predicates that you apply. So any conditions that you want to filter out your system with. So account ID has to be this, or balance has to be that, and things like that. So you can also use arithmetic operations, so, or you can also use comparison operations. So we can say that get me all balances and IDs of accounts in the Los Angeles branch. So for that, we can say that get me all IDs. So select account ID and balances. So you select account ID and balance from account where, since it has to be from the Los Angeles branch, where branch name equals to Los Angeles, right? We can also have comparative expressions or Boolean expressions in this as well. Retrieve all details of bank accounts with a balance less than $300. So select start, get me all details, right? From account where balance is less than 300. So we only get those results where the balance is less than 300. Note that the balances are in no particular order, right? It is not in ascending order, it is not in descending order, it is just in the same order as they were inserted. So essentially, we will talk about ordering and grouping and those aggregate functions later, and how do we do those. But essentially for now, as with relational algebra, we are not making any statements on the ordering of the tuples. We can also have larger predicates combined together with your traditional and or not operations. So select account ID balance from account where branch name is Los Angeles and balance is less than 300. Or select start from account where balance is greater than equals to 250 and balance is less than equals to 400. One quite common abstraction that usually databases provide to you is this comparison operator between. So between is essentially written as select start from account where balance is between 250 and 400. Remember that between includes the interval point. So that is the same as basically saying less than, greater than equal to, and less than equal to. Right, so it includes the interval points, and you can also say not between. That's just syntactic sugar for you guys. If you want, you can also use this. Any questions so far?
So basically between is like the range.
Yes, between is like the range. It is basically a select start from account where balance between 250 and 400 is equivalent to writing this particular statement.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Don't get lost now, guys. Come on, questions. Okay. So we can also use it to do string comparisons. One thing to remember is by default, your database will ignore case. So by default, MariaDB, MySQL, Postgres ignores cases. However, we can set up our database such that it does not ignore cases. But for default, by default, it is going to ignore cases. So select hello equals to hello will evaluate to true because the cases don't matter. We can also use the like pattern matching, the like operation to do some pattern matching. So for example, we can say